Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm here today to do the second part of my why I don't want to hunt anymore video. And this one is basically explaining to you what I'm going to do and what I'm planning to do this year. Because I've kind of come up with a plan and it's gotten me excited again. And it's kind of put the fire back in my belly. And part of it's due to you guys giving me some suggestions and some things that I didn't really think of, some things I just kind of overlooked. So first thing I want to do is say thank you to everybody that gave me positive comments on this video. There were a couple that were not so positive. One guy said I had a silver spoon in my mouth, and one guy called me spoiled, and he called me another name too. But one guy said I wasted 11 minutes of his life crying, and that wasn't my intent. I didn't intend to come off like I had a silver spoon in my mouth or anything like that. I worked my ass off for the ability to hunt and to have the money to hunt. And that's part of the frustration, was I'm spending so much money on hunting each year and to keep this channel going, which I love, and don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of, you start to get you thinking, man, I could take that money and do something else with it. So that was part of the frustration of it. But I do work really hard to get those leases and to be out there. We just spent a lot of time out in the woods this last weekend. So, but I'm getting off the subject. I'm getting off of the point of this video. So I do want to say thank you to you guys who commented on the video. This was probably the most commented video I've ever had, other than my giveaway videos when I gave away the bow a few years ago, and we did that a couple of times. But lots and lots of people commented. I mean, my phone, I have my email on my phone, and my phone has just been blowing up with people commenting on it, and just a lot of great positive comments, guys who've been going through the same thing. And like I said, a lot of you guys, with encouraging words were great, and a lot of guys offered me some plans to do some things that I just basically overlooked. So what I'm going to do, here's my plan this year, and what I'm really going to do, I'm not going to kill any does this year. Plain and simple, I'm not going to kill any does. My son Jacob is on doe patrol this year. It's up to him to put a doe in the freezer, at least one, and I'm pretty confident that I can set him up and I can do that, and I'm excited about that. Is getting the challenge of getting Jacob in the right spot. It isn't that big of a deal of getting him in the right spot and getting him on a deer, but training him and showing him, which he's killed deer before and he does a great job whenever he's hunted, but it's just the challenge of getting him and passing on the knowledge and teaching him what we're doing and why we're doing it, and trying to help him out through the season to hopefully progress him to the point where I can say, hey Jacob, where do you want to go hunt today? And he can say, I want to go hunt here, and I can say why, and he can explain it to me of why he wants to hunt in that particular position. So he's old enough now and understands enough now that rather than just take him out and stick him in a tree stand, I'm really going to start being more of a mentor to him and passing along the knowledge that I have to him to get him to where he can hunt on his own. Because that's my point is with Jacob is, I don't care if he ever hunts when he gets older. I want to hunt with him as long as I can, but if he decides that he's not going to be a hunter one day, that's his choice, and that's fine with me. But I want him to be self-reliant. I want him to be able to take care of himself, and being a hunter and being a fisherman, being an outdoorsman, to me, that's being self-reliant. So I'm really going to start passing on the knowledge that I have to Jacob, as far as telling him, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it, and this is what I'm expecting to happen. And hopefully by the end of the year, he'll start catching on to that and being able to say the same things to me, because he's done it with fishing, and as I'm learning fishing, I'm passing on the knowledge that I'm learning to him, and he's flat taking it and running with it. He's catching more fish than I am, and he knows how to operate the lures as good as I do, and he is just becoming a great fisherman. And that's really showed me that I can do the same thing with hunting. I can start passing on my knowledge to him rather than just sticking him in a tree stand and saying, there's a deer, shoot it. I need to start mentoring him and teaching him how to hunt. And so that's one of the big things that I'm going to do this year, and I'm really excited about that. Really excited about that. The other thing I'm going to do is really focus, because I'm not going to be shooting a doe this year, I'm really focused on killing a mature buck. We've got 2 bucks on our property, and I've killed big bucks in the past, but I never really approached them in a way that I'm set out to kill this big buck. My philosophy was always, in the early season, I patterned the does and I stuck with them, and when it came time for the rut, I ended up, a big buck generally came in on where the does were, and I ended up shooting him. And that's how I've killed a lot of the big bucks. I killed one buck a couple years ago that right before season I really had him patterned and I really had him figured out, and I went in on opening day and I shot him. But most of the other bucks that I've killed in there were during the pre-rut, the rut, or the post-rut. Almost all of them were in that November, late October to mid-November range. So almost all of them had something to do with the rut, and it's because I hunted the does and I knew where the does were. So I'm really going to focus this year on killing a mature buck in a different way. I want to kill a mature buck by basically figuring him out, figuring out where he's at, where he lives, and outsmarting him. Some guys suggested the Dan Infelt method, and I looked into that, and I just don't have the property to do it because we've got a 60-acre plot that the deer really don't stay on. It's really a travel corridor. We've got a 30-acre plot same way. We've got a 10-acre plot that the deer do not stay on at all. And we've got a 120-acre plot. Now the good thing about the 120, it's big, but there's only about 20 acres of trees on it. So I can't really find his bedding area and do that kind of stuff, the Dan Infelt method that some people have suggested. But it is so it does sound great. I wish I could do it, but so I'm really just going to try to find where that buck's traveling, where that buck's cruising, and set up on him and really focus on just killing a mature buck without using the does to do it. Really just by doing it the right way and outsmarting him and being where he lives and getting to know him. And I think that's going to be fun. That's going to be a real challenge. We've got a buck that we call Achilles. A couple years ago, we thought this buck was going to die. He was a good buck then, about 130 class buck then. And he came in on trail camera late in the season, and his ankle was just swole up. I mean, it was as big as a damn grapefruit. And we thought for sure the infection was going to get him because he was starting to really lose weight and just really looking bad. And he bounced back and lived through it. And last year I hunted him, or we hunted him, and I saw him one time, and that was it. And he was at 50 yards and would not come any closer. And we got another buck on the 120 acres that slipped past me and Kyle last year. And he actually went right past Kyle, and it was too dark for Kyle to shoot, and he came right to me, and when he came to me, he turned and went off into the woods. And the next time I seen him, I thought I had him figured out, and the day Kyle got married, I text Kyle, I'm like, man, I am not, it was just a great day, and I think in November, and I text Kyle like, man, I'm not going to be there tonight. I got to go hunt this buck. And I saw him, and he busted me picking up my bow. Last time I ever saw him. Now we've got pictures of both of those deer, so I am going to focus on killing at least one of those deer this year. That's my challenge, is to kill one of those deer. Not killing any does, not killing any young bucks, not killing any other bucks except for those two. I'm really focused on killing those two, and that's got some fire back in me. It's got me really focused on thinking about whitetail again. You know, it's got me to the point where I'm like, where's he staying at? He's got to be staying on the neighbor's property. So he's staying on the neighbor's property. Where's he? It's really got me trying to figure him out, and really got me thinking about it a lot more, and really focused on succeeding in that goal. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do that I'm really excited about is I mentioned traveling, that I just don't have the money to travel. And someone said, a lot of you guys were like, well, go to some public land. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, man, Missouri is just rich with public land. We have a lot of public land. And I have a lot of public land within an hour's drive right here. So, and I've actually went up and scouted one early in the spring and just didn't like what I saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple days vacation, and I'm going to go to one of these places, one of these public land pieces around here, and I'm going to try to kill a buck or a mature doe. That's the only time that I will kill a mature doe, is if I go do that. You know, I'm going to go try to find a place that I can camp, or I can rent a cabin, or I can stay and just go and spend 3 or 4 days out on public land, really trying to figure it out, do it the way that I used to do. New piece of property, no trail cameras, just trying to do it the old way, using my woodsman skills, and trying to figure out where these deer are. They're going to be highly pressured deer. There's going to be a lot of other hunters out there, and it's just going to be one of those things that is a significant challenge, and it gets me off of the routine of just walk. Hey, there's a tree stand, I know there's going to be deer in front of it, and walking to it. I'll take my climber, I'll take my XOP, my small XOP, and some climbing sticks, and all my gear, and see if in that 4 days I can kill a mature animal, either a mature doe or a mature buck. And I'm really excited about that challenge. And I'm excited about the prospect of getting to a new piece of property that I've never been on. I'm excited about the prospect of of camping out and staying, and I'm thinking about all the, like, I can stay in my Honda and I can block out the windows, and I can because the Honda, the backside of the Honda, if you've never been in Honda Element, it's like a mobile camper, so I can stay in it and camp in it. And I'm sitting there mentally making lists of all the things that I need and things I need to do before then, and that's getting me excited again too. So those are the things that I'm really going to focus on this year to make hunting exciting again, and it is doing that thing. It is making it exciting again. It's getting that fire in my belly again, you know. There's 3 things there that I just absolutely am thinking about nonstop, and thinking about how to succeed in those 3 things. So the challenge is back, and that's what I was really missing. So I appreciate you guys commenting on part 1 of this video. Really appreciate all the positive comments, and I appreciate the guys who offered up suggestions. I did get the suggestion, and I listened, but boys, I'm just not good enough with one, and I don't have the time this year to do it. But I actually own a recurve and a traditional bow, and have really seriously thought about picking that thing up and shooting it. I also have a bow. It's a compound bow. It's one of the first compound bows that was ever made or ever designed. Not one of the first ones that was produced, but it's the first ones that was designed. This thing was made in the mid-80s, still in excellent shape, still in very good shooting shape. And I've thought about getting it out and shooting it instinctive, shooting it like a recurve, and hunting with one of those 2. But I kind of waited too long and to make up my mind to do that, and I just don't have the time to get good with it. Now what I'm going to do, maybe I'll shoot it alongside of my compound bow as I'm getting ready for the season, and if I get good enough, you know, maybe in mid-season, maybe toward the end of season, if I get good enough and get enough confidence in them, maybe I'll break one of those bows out and go out and try to shoot a doe with it. That'd be a great way to shoot a doe right there. So that's actually got me fired up again. I'm sitting here thinking about what kind of arrows I can shoot with that, and feathered fletchings, and what's so anyway, yeah, I'm getting the fire back, and I'm getting the desire to hunt back, and part of that is due to you guys and the suggestions that you've given me, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to comment on the video. I would have answered some of those, but like I said, I got so many comments on these videos, I just didn't have time in a day to answer each one individually. And that's one of the reasons why I'm making this video, is to thank you guys personally, rather than just going back and writing a generic thank you and copy and pasting it on everyone. But so this is my way of saying thank you guys for offering the suggestions, the positive comments, and yeah, even negative comments. At least you took time out of your day to watch the video and call me a spoiled little or tell me I had a silver spoon in my mouth, or tell me I wasted 11 minutes of your life, or there's several other ones that were pretty good. So I appreciate all the comments on the last video. Thank you for taking the time to watch these videos and give the suggestions that you've given me. Thank you for all the support over the years too. It's really important to me that this video, that this channel is successful as well. And by successful, all I mean by that, numbers don't mean a thing to me. I just want to reach out and share my passion and share my knowledge of hunting with people, and especially with new hunters, and try to get them involved in hunting as well. And I think that I've done that, and I hope to continue to do that. And I can do that by you guys giving me support. So the subscribing, commenting, liking, all that stuff absolutely helps out in a ton. So thank you for doing that. Please, if you're not a subscriber, if you haven't liked and shared these videos, please do that. And if you want to check us out on Instagram and Facebook, we're there under Ike's Outdoors. I put a lot of my fishing stuff up there. I've been just slaying the bass the last couple months. Caught a 5-pounder a few weeks back, and just been posting tons and tons of bass fishing pictures lately. And here pretty quick it'll be right back to hunting videos, or hunting pictures, because I'm getting geared up. We got about a month and a half left to go, and right now I'm getting giddy. I'm getting excited. So I really appreciate everything you guys do for me, and hopefully I can return the favor and do something for you. Appreciate you guys watching these videos.